Hello, everybody. I'm Jordan Rocco, and today for our 10th episode, we have a very interesting story. Now, I've been thinking about this and working on this all day. Not only does it interest me, but I hope it interests you. Billy Preston, who is an NBA prospect, recently has been talked about by many people for what he has recently done. Make sure you wait till the end to hear why he is being talked about. Instead of just me telling you what happened, we are actually going to tell you all about Billy Preston. What makes us different from other news channels is we tell you everything we know about the person who is involved in the story instead of just saying what he did. I feel that you need to know everything about him before we judge him. I'm aware there are other videos out there that talk about this story, but what makes this different is I will provide what I think will happen next and how I feel about the situation at the end. And you can too if you comment. Before going into the full story, I want to let you know it gets very confusing, and although I include a lot of details, I'm sure there's a lot more that I left out that I don't know about and only Billy does, because it's his life. I even got confused while writing this, but if you watch this all, you should not be confused, and if you have any questions, just comment down below. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe. Now go get yourself some popcorn and something to drink, and let's get into the show. Billy Preston was born on October 26, 1997. He spent most of his childhood on a skateboard riding around the sidewalks of California's Redondo Beach, videotaping tricks and posting them on YouTube. Towards the beginning of his 6th grade year, everything changed for Billy. He fell backwards off his $200 skateboard and hit his head against the concrete, which caused him to get 10 stitches to close the wound on his scalp. Although it sucks to lose a $200 skateboard, he ended up getting something that is a lot more valuable than that, and that's good basketball skills. This was the last time Billy rode a skateboard. After this, he threw the skateboard in the trash. Billy's godmother, Tamisha Kirby, I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, who is a former college basketball player, said to him, "Skateboarding isn't going to get you anywhere in life. You need to focus on basketball." Kirby, who was a lifelong partner of Billy's mother, Nicole Player, played a big role in raising Billy, and he refers to her and his real mom as his parents. Shortly after that talk, Billy began to commit to playing basketball. Kirby formed her own AAU basketball team for California players. Billy, just like any kid who was dedicated to something for so long and had to have it taken away, started out with bad habits of not wanting to work hard and just wanting to skateboard. But eventually, Kamicha got Billy on track. He matured, and he eventually grew out of that and spent almost all his time either in the gym or on the court working on his skills. In middle school, Billy Preston started to catch everybody's eyes. Not only did he show he had potential, but he had tremendous size. Billy could do it all. He could shoot and get many rebounds, but it was his incredible dunks that made people start to know his name. Billy worked very hard to be a top prospect. He was a part of that AAU team made by his godmother, and he attended some of the top camps for basketball prospects. At one point during his high school career, he received a video invitation from two-time MVP himself, Stephen Curry, to attend one of his camps. Billy put in a lot of work each year, not just during high school season, but also during the summer. That's where he got ahead of everybody. And that's why he is so much more athletic and skilled than just the average player. When he started his freshman season playing for St. John Bosco in Bellflower, California, he was one of the top recruits in his state. That was his freshman season, and St. John Bosco won the California Interscholastic Federation Division II State Championship. Since it was such a skilled team and he was young, he didn't play a huge role for them. After winning the state championship, he decided to transfer to Redondo Union High School in Redondo Beach, California, which is where he grew up in. Although Billy was receiving a lot of interest from multiple Division I colleges, Billy and his family decided to transfer away once again during the middle of the season from Redondo and move all the way out of state to Dallas, Texas. Billy's mother said that it was strictly because of academics. Billy and his family moved here in order for him to attend Prime Prep Academy. This school has a reputation of making players eligible. And as you know, athletes have to work on their grades. And at Redondo, the block schedule was affecting him, and his grades were just not where they needed them to be. Billy was able to put extra work in and work out more while he was playing for Prime Prep. Despite moving to his third school in 3 years, he received even more interest from top colleges. At this point in his career, he had over a dozen major offers from some of the top basketball schools. This was because Billy continued to grow. He was 6'9" and 220 pounds. And he performed well for his AAU team and in other invite-only games. One of those games was the Under Armour Elite 24. Under Armour selected 24 of the top high school prospects, and Billy performed the best out of all of them and was selected as the MVP of the game. Going into his junior season, he was a 5-star prospect and rated 6th in the class of 2017 by Rivals.com. Billy was very versatile and able to play every position throughout high school. This is the main reason why colleges wanted him, because they saw he could literally do it all. He could score, he could rebound, he could shoot. Billy had to move to his 4th school in 3 years because Prime Prep closed down, so he transferred to Advanced Prep International, which was still in Dallas. Some of the top recruits like Terrence Ferguson, who currently plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Trevon Duval, another 5-star recruit in Preston's class, have chosen to play for Advanced Prep during high school. Billy had a solid junior season and was still a top prospect in his class. He was ranked the 13th best recruit in the class of 2017 by ESPN. While he continued to work hard and get better, Billy had to think about his future. Baylor, Kansas, Connecticut, Michigan, and Michigan State are just a few of the top schools that offered him. At the time, he was still hoping for an offer from Kentucky, North Carolina, and Syracuse, which in his senior season he eventually gets. Going into his senior year, Billy did what he's done throughout his whole high school career. And just guess for a second. If you said transfer schools, you're right. This was the 5th and final school Billy transferred to. 5 schools in 4 years. Just think about that. Poor guy. He decided to move to Virginia and transfer to a boarding school that has had some of the best high school recruits, and they have a legendary coach by the name of Steve Smith. In case you did not know, Smith is a top high school coach and has had over 1,000 wins. Billy was finally able to find happiness. Smith, who has coached multiple All-Stars like Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony, said, "I've never coached a player at his size with his skills." Billy and Coach Smith had a great relationship, and this helped Billy have a spectacular senior season and get all the offers he wanted. Billy and Coach Smith had a 35-5 overall record. In November 2016, Billy and his family decided that he would commit to the University of Kansas, one of the top basketball programs. After his senior season, Billy was selected to play in the McDonald's All-American Game. This is the all-star game for high school recruits. All the best high school recruits go to this game. It's the best game there is. Playing with the top recruits in his class, Preston scored 10 points and grabbed 3 rebounds. He also played in the Jordan Brand Classic and scored 7 points in 15 minutes. Billy Preston remained a 5-star prospect throughout high school and was ranked 20th in his class by ESPN. He was on his way to being Kansas' next star power forward. Now this is where things get interesting. You'd think that Billy would go to Kansas and have a successful career. Well, we don't know the ending of his career because his story is not yet near over. Still a lot more to go. But just like every school Billy has gone to, he ends up leaving, except this time he doesn't go to another school. Billy enrolled in Kansas in June and practiced and learned a lot with the team. He played in the preseason for the Jayhawks, and he showed that he can play a solid role for the team. But unfortunately, Billy found himself in trouble before the season opener and was suspended for the first game of the season because he missed both curfew and class. The next game for the team was against Kentucky. In case you didn't know or didn't hear me before, Kentucky did end up offering Billy, but he decided to go to Kansas. Right before the game on November 14th, Billy was involved in a car crash. Luckily, the crash caused no injuries, but sadly, Billy's car sustained damage. The administration of Kansas determined that they needed a clearer financial picture specific to the vehicle, so they decided to suspend him until it was complete. You'd think this wouldn't be a long suspension, right? Well, this was 18 games long. This frustrated Billy and his family. Since he missed out on a big chunk of his freshman season, he decided to end his college basketball career and start his professional career. On January 20th, Billy Preston signed a contract with a professional basketball team in Bosnia. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of that team because I have no idea what that is. Although he is playing overseas, he still intends on entering the 2018 NBA draft. Now, here's what I believe will happen. I believe Billy has the size and the talents. He can literally do it all. But it seems a 20-year-old struggles with discipline. Of course, he needs to improve, like on the court, if he wants to be a top player in the NBA. But he has a talent to make it to the NBA. He just needs to work on maturing. In the NBA, there will be situations that he will not like, and he will just have to overcome it instead of just move on. Billy seems like a tremendous player. Just look at all these highlights. He's a beast. He's fast. He has the athleticism. He has the versatility. He has it all. Only time will tell what will happen next. We will provide an update story as soon as we hear what happens next. Until then, please make sure you leave a like on this episode and please subscribe. We will have more stories like this. This is just the first one of these. I thought it was an interesting story I heard about, so I wanted to talk about it. I hope you enjoyed. This is our 10th episode. We just started this channel 2 weeks ago, and we have many more videos on the way. Thank you for supporting us. I'm Jordan Rocco, and I hope you enjoyed episode 10 of the World of Sports podcast.